Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Confidence Connection Show, where we share women's stories of confidence from all around the world. This week, I'm joined by the beautiful Vicky of Next Door Goddess, who is a doctor turned jewelry designer, which is super interesting. She is Greek, but joining us live from Texas. So, welcome, Vicky. Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and how you got to be where you are today?
Hi, I'm so honored to be here, Bronte. So my life story is like kind of something I was not expecting to happen in my life so soon. So I used to be a doctor in Greece, and I was making jewelry on the side as a hobby for many years, many more years than I was a doctor. And then at some point, we started discussing immigration because my husband is Greek American and his business was in the States. So he was in the States more than in Greece.
Yeah.
At some point, I came at the crossroads like, what do I do? Because immigration also means possibly career change or not.
Mm.
And I took a lot of questionnaires trying to see what was the right choice for me, because leaving medicine is a very big step, and I was afraid to take it. So there was one question into one of those courses that I took that said, if you were to die tomorrow, what's that one dream that you have never given a chance in your life to bring to life that you will deeply regret? I swear it was a nice course, but it had this like serious question inside. So I realized that I had never given this jewelry dream of mine a chance to be
Mm.
fulfilled while I had lived my medical dream to the fullest. And so, I mean, I went back and forth for a while, but then I decided on the immigration plane, literally, to take the step and found this jewelry business and give it a shot.
Yeah.
And here we are today. I co-founded this company with my husband, and I am the creative mind behind the company.
Awesome. That's so interesting. Like that's such a lot to take on, a new country, a new culture, but also a new, career path or focusing more on that career. So that's really awesome. So how much courage does it take that big step into a new, career path while, becoming an immigrant in a new country?
I gotta tell you, I need to be clear here, right? I am someone who likes to make informed decisions, and
Yeah.
I'm someone who likes to take calculated risks. I had the blessing of having a husband that could support our family here. So
Yeah.
part of my decision making process took that into consideration, because if I needed to put, bread on my family's table, I might
Yeah.
have taken a different road, at least for a while.
Yeah.
So, but still, despite that, it was a very big step. It was very scary. We were coming in a
Mm.
place that I had never seen before. We were moving in with three kids, two of which hardly even spoke a word in English. The third one, our
Yeah.
eldest, could speak a little bit. So it was a lot, and we were not expecting COVID on top of it.
Yeah.
But we immigrated 2019, and I had, without knowing, I had also signed up for almost 3 years of homeschooling three kids, which was not part of the plans.
No,
It was yeah, it needed a lot of courage and a lot of resources. To tell you the truth, I never even knew I had these emotional resources,
yeah.
but it turns out I did.
No, that's brilliant. You're right. COVID just chucks a whole lot more on top of everything and threw everyone off, I think. So tell us more about your business and your jewelry, what you make, where you sell it, can people buy it, all that.
So we have finally a website, because even that was such took so long time. Everything took longer than I was expected.
Yeah.
But in the end, turned out better than I expected. So
Awesome.
we are selling my jewelry through our website. We couldn't do any of the shows, trunk shows, local stuff that we should be doing because of COVID. We're extra careful. So yeah, I design and create everything myself for now, with having this idea in the back of my head that one day I will have women, especially women, helping me make jewelry here in the States. I source most of my elements in Greece, some of them worldwide, but most of them from Greece. So in my mind, in this way, I want to help, both of my countries where my children were raised and come from, Greece and the States. I'd love to keep making process over here.
That's beautiful. I love that. Supporting. It's what we're all about, supporting women.
I don't know. I mean, it is important. It's not that men don't need support. I feel everybody needs support, but
Yeah.
as a woman that found myself in this place of an immigrant, I believe that my heart feels for other women, and I'd love to support other women in this business.
Yeah, fair enough. So, what's been your biggest challenge in setting up your business in the States? I'm guessing probably
Oh,
COVID related.
oh my God, there were so many. First of all, I mean, yes, it was COVID, and at first we were all like, "What the heck are we doing? I mean, when is this gonna end? Is this ever gonna end?" And then for me personally, because I had this transition, and the transition was not fully done. We were only 6 months here when COVID hit, so in my mind I was like still in Greece, and it was a challenge finding my customer here, how to speak to her, what she would like to wear. Style in Greece is so different than here, the weather is different, women are different, finding new friends. I think this whole thing became one. To
Yeah.
me, I mean, business and life are not two things where you take a line and you cross the line and it's business, and you cross the line and it's life. When you run a business from home, they're kind of intertwined, and also your
Oh,
psychology bleeds into both your business and your life. So it was all of that together. I think my biggest challenge was what was happening on the inside, and how I was going through all this transition and all the challenges these years have brought us. But I think now that I've crossed a large part of that path, many things turned out to be so much better than I expected them, and I'm so grateful for that.
that's beautiful. And you're right. Everything does become one, especially when you love the work that you do. It's like, you kind of let it become your life because you love it
I
so much.
I mean, I could do that without. I mean, I need to make money, but I could do that. I would do that. I had been doing that for years without being paid. This creative process is so amazing. It's such a zen thing where you tap into your creativity. You tap into what's so amazing for you, what inspires you. Beauty, creating things of beauty. It's amazing. It's unique. I love it. It's such a juxtaposition from what I was doing as a doctor, because there beauty was found in the human relationship, the connection, the help. But over here, it's also beauty in an item that you can touch, and it's so different. So I think, yeah, another challenge maybe for new business owners if you're watching. So I had to make the mistake. You cannot watch a business that's mature, that's like 10-20 years into business, and see what they're
Yeah.
doing and
Mm-hmm.
think that you can do it yourself too. So when I started out on our first website, I spread myself so thin. Just because I can make so many things doesn't mean that as a company right now I can
Yeah.
support photography for all these things, the Instagram for all these things, the messaging for all. It's impossible. So I had to niche down, and this niching down helped me to
Mm-hmm.
expand, and I'm forever grateful. I've had mentors all along the way. I'm so grateful for them, and for being a little bit rough with me on times, but helping me really snap left and right, and edit down so that I can then expand from there.
Yeah. And how important would you say it is to have, mentorship along the way of a business journey, especially when you're starting out?
I mean, I don't know how some people do without. For me, it was very important. I think that it's not just a thing. At this point, I know you have a mentor who is someone who can work well with you, and you can work well with them. This is a very personal relationship. Not every mentor is right for every person, right? But once you find that mentor that you click with, it's magic. They can grow you
Mm-hmm.
exponentially. They can save you money, they can save you years. They have made the mistakes, you don't need to make them. So I believe in mentorship, and I've had mentors even from before, from my personal life, and also in my previous career as a doctor, I've always had mentors, and I am very grateful for them. I think they come in your way when you're ready for your next mentor. They just show up.
Yes. Yeah, no, I believe in that too. That's brilliant advice. And so what I know you had support from your husband, but did you have any challenges when you told people that you were going to stop being a doctor, the dream traditional job, and go into becoming full-time jewelry? Did you have any resistance from your family and your community?
So my husband, I have to give this to him. He is a dream. He was like, you know what? What's your dream? Let's give it a chance. I'm here for you. I'll be
Beautiful.
next to you. I'll support you through this.
Yeah.
And I was like, I couldn't be more grateful. Now, resistance, my mom, my dad, they were like, hey, child, I mean, you have spent so many years into your medical career. You have done, because I was like really high accomplished. I had done things in my career that other people hadn't done at the end of their career. I was exposed to a lot. How can you do this? And I was like, I understand the anxiety, because also I was in the national healthcare sector for many years, and then I quit. And for a couple of years, I was in the private sector. So I had seen challenges in both. And they were like, you have a job that people need, that can put
Yeah.
money in your hands, and now you're going to a luxury thing. And I mean, women, are they going to buy your jewelry? And I'm like, mom, dad, there are no burnt bridges, no closed doors, until you burn them down yourself, and until you close them yourself. It may take me, if I want to go back to medicine, if I start craving that path again, I may need to travel a longer road, but in the end I can find myself there again. But I have this dream that I have not given a chance to. And I am 45. It's like, how do I know if I get to be, because in the back of my head, I was like, yeah, I'm going to be 67. I'm going to retire from medicine. And then I'm going to open up this little bead shop. And I'm going to have, on the side, my pension. It's all going to be secure. Well, it didn't happen this way. But I think it reassured them that if I don't find my way down that path, and if I'm not happy, I will go back. They wanted to hear this, that I am open to to going back if I find out that that was the road for me, which is not the case now, but who knows.
Yeah.
I'm like, life can throw you so many, not all obstacles, but also opportunities down your path. And with every choice you make, different doors open in front of you. So who knows? Who
Yeah.
knows?
No, that's brilliant advice, that you haven't burnt the bridge until you've burnt it yourself. I think that's so true. Like, I've changed careers in the last few years as well, and everyone's like, why'd you do that? Why'd you throw it away? I'm like, I didn't. I can still come back to it. I'm just over here, but I can always come back over here. And I think people are so set in stone about what they're doing. And so, no, you can be flexible. We're humans. We're allowed to be flexible and change our mind about things, or try different things. And, like you say, just take the opportunities that come and see what happens.
I mean, I think COVID changed a lot of this.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a trend over there in New Zealand, but here in the States, they see the great American resignation, people quitting their
Yes.
jobs left and right, especially, around my age, middle-aged people who are quite accomplished, and they're like, you know what, I mean, I have another dream. And this is so inspiring to watch, because those are big ticket items. Like midlife, you have children, you have you may have a mortgage, you have a lot of things. You're not in your 20s where things are more flexible, but still giving your dream a chance at any age is so important, because we don't know in this life. We have an exit ticket, and we don't know what that exit ticket writes. We never know.
Yeah.
So it's now or never, and we only get each moment once. We never get that same moment twice. So
yeah, and you're right. The COVID did make everyone sort of sit back and reflect on what's important in life, and showed you, when you do spend time at home with family, that can be more important to you than going out, to that job you're going to 8-9 hours a day. So
right, it also it showed businesses that were so close to their employees. They were like a family together. They
Yeah.
went through this crisis way better than, big giants that didn't have this one-on-one
Oh, yeah.
relationship with their employees. I think this whole
Yeah.
COVID thing brought up the power of small businesses a
Yes.
lot. I mean, it's, in a way, it's groundbreaking. It's like the silver lining there is somewhere.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I guess that's where it is different in New Zealand is that most businesses are small businesses. Not we don't have
Yeah,
many businesses with over 100 employees. So like for us, a big business is like 50 employees.
yeah. In Greece, I mean, every business is a small business because Greece is a small country. It's like,
True. Yeah.
this was a true
Yeah.
challenge here. So when I immigrated, I still think I have not grasped the difference in sizes,
Yeah. Yeah.
where, well, when my country is like a part of the state, as would be like a small part of the state I'm living in, not this whole
Mm.
continent I find
Yeah.
myself in. And it's like mind-blowing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. At
Yeah.
first I was scared, and then I was like, how come I never thought of this before? Maybe I should change another country too. It opens you up in new horizons, new experiences, things you want to live.
Yeah, for sure. And talking about starting businesses or changing direction during COVID, you mentioned earlier about you know kind of not beating yourself up when things don't happen overnight, that things don't happen as fast as you plan. Like you can make all the plans, but challenges, life happens. Like things don't happen as fast as you want them to. What advice would you give to people listening that maybe either thinking about it or have started a business or new career recently in the last couple of years and are beating themselves up because it isn't happening as fast as they thought it would?
Oh my God, this divine timing, I'm telling you, is a challenge. And especially since we live, in this mentality where we want everything here, and Amazon spoiled us. You think in your mind, it's like you have it next to your door the next day. But I think that, uh, first of all, you beat yourself up when you live in the gap, when you live in the things that you need to accomplish, and you never look back and see all the things that you have actually accomplished.
Oh,
So when
yeah.
you take a step back and look at the road you have traveled, you're gonna see that right now you are exactly where you are supposed to be standing, and all that progress you have in your mind, I truly believe it's not happening because you're not ready for it. You have to be ready for the things that you are wishing, because if you could like download that future right now and you're not ready for it, I don't want to say destroy you, but it could pose a serious challenge on you.
Yeah.
Let's say I'm a jewelry designer. Okay, let's say right now I have this dream of having a massive company and having 600 orders a day. I would not be able to support. If I had 600 orders a day, that would very quickly shut my business down in the next few days because I can't support it. I don't have the systems for it. So I
Yeah.
do believe that sustainable progress is long, it's grinding, but it pays off in the end. And if it doesn't, because the hard truth is that most small businesses are having a hard 1, 2, 3 years at first, and many after this third year are going to shut down. It is still okay. It just means that this business wasn't for you, that you hadn't built it ready. The things that you have read, the person that you have become in the process, is getting you ready for your next big step, and the success may come in the next business. I get so inspired by reading the journeys of successful entrepreneurs, and if you take a look, you're going to see that they have failed sometimes multiple businesses before they end up in that one idea. They land that one idea that bring them to where they would dream to
Right.
be, to where they would like to be. So yeah, that inspires me. That keeps me down the road. They're like, okay, I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna put my best self out there daily, and I know that it's either gonna be this that I have in my mind or something better. There's no other way things are going. So that's my take.
Yeah. Great advice. Sorry, I think I just cut out with that bad weather just then, but I'm back.
I I bet-
Um,
I'm like, is she just not moving or is the whole screen frozen?
sorry, everyone. There's really bad weather where I am, and it just totally froze my internet. But I'm back. I'm back. So, thanks for sharing all of that. Now, let's move into the questions that I ask, everyone each week. So, what does confidence mean to you? What does it mean to be confident?
Ah, good question. See, I was not prepared for this, but I believe confidence is when that next challenge comes in front of you, that you tell yourself that, hey, I got this, and if I don't have it, then I can build myself up to it. That's
Yeah,
that inner voice that says, I can do this, or I can build myself up to do this. That doesn't say, no, you can't. No, you're not enough. No, this is not for you.
yeah,
That is confidence. In my
yeah,
mind, confidence allows you room to grow. It's not the thing that says, nope, I don't need to change anything. I'm perfect. It doesn't come from there. It comes from I'm very satisfied and I'm more than enough with what I am. And from that place of love, I can grow.
yeah. No, that's great. If like that's a great way of summing it up, and I totally agree. I like to think because people can get like confidence and arrogance confused. They're like, oh, I don't want to come off as arrogant sort of thing. But I think the difference is like arrogance is thinking you can do like I can do it no matter what. Whereas I like to think confidence is like I can figure it out no matter what. Like arrogance is like, oh no, I know how to do it because I'm the best in the world, sort of thing. Whereas
Arrogance
confidence
and
is I can
ignorance.
figure it out.
Sometimes it's like pure childish ignorance of what you have in front of you. I'd rather overestimate an obstacle than underestimate it. I'm that kind of person.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's like, and you build it like a muscle. You build it
it is.
daily, be it around your beauty, your looks, what you can do in business. You wake up in the morning and you have to work on that muscle, or it gets weak and you need to go
Yeah,
to the gym.
yeah, yeah. The mind gym.
The mind gym, so important.
Yeah, and so how do you help people build their confidence, or how does your jewelry help people build their confidence?
That's an interesting story. And it was a revelation for me that I was not expecting. So I'm going to take you back a few years.
Oh,
I'm a young doctor and I am invited to give a lecture on stage for the first time. And I say, yes. And then the other moment, I'm like, no, I can't do it. What was I thinking? And I tried to get myself out of the situation, but I couldn't. So I'm like, okay, that's it. We're doing this. I sat down, I had a month to prepare that lecture. I sat down, I prepared everything. I was feeling good. The more I was learning, the better I was. There comes the day of the presentation. I had to go to work in the morning, but I wake up and the first thing it's in my mind, what the heck am I wearing tonight? And I had my moment there, I put on my outfit. I was like, something's missing here. I'm missing a spark. I grab a necklace, I put on it. And that moment, I don't know. I had this thing that confidence, that spark inside me that said, yes, I mean, I'm gonna do this tonight. I'm gonna rock it. It's gonna be so good. It's my first one, it's gonna be fantastic. So I get my clothes, I put them on the side, go to work, go back, get ready, and then go to give the presentation. I'm stepping on stage and I go try to put my computer on. It's dead. All technology around me is dead and I have no notes. Seriously, I got some life lessons that day. Get something on a memory stick, mail yourself, have a second computer, have everything. But it was like too fast. And I take a step forward and I opened my mouth to literally tell them, hey, we're gonna have to do this another day. But somehow, I touched my necklace and it grounded me back to the feeling I had that morning. And to my own surprise, I was like, hey, I guess today we're gonna have to say everything by heart. And there are a lot of people here in the audience that are
yeah,
older doctors than me. So please feel free to chime in or correct whatever you hear that might sound strange. And I gave my best ever lecture on stage. I still love it to this day. that was the day that I realized how your outfit can empower you from the outside
Mhm.
in. And that is something, I don't know if you have watched any of the talks of Evi Pumburas. So she says that when you are in front of a challenge, what you can do, there are things that you cannot do. I mean, I don't know if we're gonna have like a tornado outbreak outside. So, but what are the things that you can control? And she was like, one of the things that you can control when you're on stage is your outfit and how it makes you feel.
Oh, yeah.
Another thing is to know the stage. So intuitively, I had tapped into this. And I realized that confidence shines from the inside out, but that
Mhm.
inside out game takes so long to build. So there's another road from the outside in. When you put on, red lip, when you put on your makeup, you feel so much better and you build your confidence,
Mhm.
both ways. So that's what I'm doing with my jewelry. Much like that piece of jewelry somehow disrupted. It was disruption. It's like a psychological technique. When you have a negative train of thought, you disrupt it with a positive thought. That's what it did for me. So that's why I'm making jewelry, and our tag, even our tag is like, it's a little goddess,
Oh,
to remind every woman that, I mean, we are born goddesses. We are born to feel beautiful. All we have to do is tap into who we are on the inside and bring it out on the outside for the world to see and love.
I love that. That is such a great summary. And it takes me back to that year of like 2020, first lockdown sort of thing. And everyone was like, yay, I can just lounge around my pajamas all day and work from home and, eat a bag of chips. And I was like, I will not do anything if I lounge around in my pajamas all day. And so I used to make it a thing where, like, I would do full face of makeup and dress up even more extra than I would if I was going to work. And I'd be on Instagram stories and everyone's like, this is amazing. Like, what are you doing? I was like, I am so productive and just feeling amazing and just getting stuff done because if I look good, I feel good. I wake up feeling crap. I will go put on like a bright, sunny yellow dress, do my makeup, and it just instantly lifts you. And I can totally agree that jewelry, some fun jewelry always helps with that too.
It's like it's dopamine dressing. It is a thing.
Yeah.
And every time, and this is something we need to remember, every time we stand in front of the mirror, every time we put clothes on ourselves, jewelry, we tell ourselves something. You cannot help it. You are telling yourself something. What are you allowing yourself to wear? How are you presenting yourself to the world? You are saying things. And
Oh, yeah.
sadly, there has been research that out of the 1,000 words we tell to ourselves daily, most of them are not positive ones. And they are for sure words we would say to a friend. So
Mm-hmm.
why are we treating ourselves so bad? I'm so sorry. This is like
Good old phone.
real life. So I need to have my phone on for tornado alerts, but it was just a spam call. Yeah, so I mean, it's so important, and jewelry is a part of it because it's transformational. You put on a bold piece of jewelry and it changes the way you look. To tell you the truth, I was kind of cheating. I started making big earrings because I found that with a red lip and a big pair of earrings, I
Oh,
would
yeah.
show very nicely, and a headpiece, I would be showing very nicely on Zoom. And I would
Yeah.
skip makeup because in Texas I was hit with so many allergies the first year we were here that I couldn't do a lot of eye makeup on. So
Yeah.
yeah. Check out.
I think jewelry definitely became like statement jewelry definitely became a thing with all the, increase of Zoom meetings because that's all you have to present yourself as the square.
That's great. We live. This is amazing. We learn how to live our life in squares. Now for me, I can't wait to get out of the squares. Like, I just feel that I am going back to life now.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
is
Yeah.
so amazing. We're going out for a walk. My husband's like, okay, guys, let's go back. And I'm like, we still stay outside for a little bit longer because now I can't get enough.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it definitely did change everything. So, what would you say to someone who wants to build their confidence but doesn't know where to start?
Oh, a um, go and watch Marisa. peers talks on TEDx about
Yes.
I am enough. I love
Yes.
this concept. I love her. I mean, this is everything. I think the moment you understand this, that you were born enough, that's where confidence starts to build up. And then it's all about this inner outer game and being on top of your mindset and your inner dialogue. Because there are the voices in our head like all the time. You put yourself this nice, and it's hard sometimes. Like you put yourself a blouse and you like it, but the first thing you tell yourself is like, oh, my belly is showing. Now, I'm not gonna tell anybody because I can't lie to myself. If my belly is showing, my belly is showing. And I'm like, yes, your belly is showing, but this color looks fantastic on you. So I will
Yeah.
add something positive after the negative thing I've told myself that is true. I can't, I mean, and that's the way I use affirmations from time to time, but that's the way I use them. I can't start like I'm a big, tall blonde because like I'm not. I can't tell myself things that I don't believe.
Yeah.
But I am, so when it's something that I want to reach and I have not reached that yet, I use affirmations like I am building myself up to it. I am becoming.
Love
And
that.
so that's the main things that I would, and then read as much as you can. Read positive psychology, not toxic, but positive psychology,
Yeah.
and see around. There's a whole movement. Now is the era of movements of real people, real beauty, people that embrace all their imperfectness in their journey of making themselves better without being arrogant, without being anything else. So now is the perfect time. It's a fantastic time to live in. It's fascinating.
It is. It truly is. And I love that you brought up Marissa Peer because I love her as well. And that I am enough. I know she's got a few talks, but there was talk on the whole I am enough. And at the start of the first I've always been confident, but like at the start of those first lockdowns, someone shared it and I watched it and I was like sitting there in tears. I was like, wow, this is the most moving thing I have seen in my life. And it's so true. The whole, just so simple, I am enough, makes such a difference, right? And I recommend it to everyone and anyone that I see. I'm like, you have to watch this video. It will change your life.
Yes. And also, I mean, you have a whole confidence building thing over here that has been running for so long. Just
Mm,
go back, watch every episode, see how other people see confidence and how they build it up. And out of
mm.
that, just cherry pick what resonates with you. It is so simple. Right now, everything is literally in front of our eyes. It's not like when we were growing up in the 80s where we didn't have the internet and we didn't have all this plethora of things that we now have.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things. So yeah,
Yeah.
ladies, we gotta work on it.
Yeah, and I love your saying, your affirmation to yourself of I am building up to that. I think I'm gonna write that down. That's such a powerful affirmation. Like, not there yet, but I'm building up to it.
I'm
I think that's
becoming.
really powerful. What's something you know now that you wish you knew when you were younger?
Oh, good. Can I please go back like to my 15-year-old self and tell her, you are beautiful. This notion of being beautiful, beauty is only skin deep, they say, but like it can hurt so deeply.
Yeah.
So I would just say this. I wish I knew, especially around my teenage years, that I was
Yes.
beautiful just as I was, with my extra weight, with my funny, hair, with everything that I was trying to do. I wish I knew it. I mean, this is and if I had a daughter, I don't. I have three sons. Um, but I think that this beauty thing is so much around girls and women, baby, because it's the archetype of beauty that is so much around Aphrodite, women. I mean, we really need to realize this. That we're beautiful just as we are. So this is what I tell myself, and I would also tell her, you know what? It's okay. You're gonna make it. Whatever it is, whatever your dream is, it's gonna be okay. Because I had all these anxieties. So yeah, I'd really love to go back and tell that.
Yeah, I could totally agree. There's all the things you know now. They're like, oh, teenage me really needed to know that. But it's what being a teenager is all about, finding yourself.
It's all about finding yourself, but some, I don't know how we manage to sometimes build, beat ourselves up so hardly at these years that are so carefree, and we
Mm,
turn them into something that is like not
yes.
carefree.
Yeah. I,
And I'm like, can I be just for a few, well, I wouldn't go back to having all the lessons in med school again and everything, but just, the carefree part. Well, yeah, because
well,
if
you're
you go
finding
back,
them
you got to
easy
do
now.
it all again, right? I wouldn't change, Brente, I wouldn't change a day. I
Yeah.
think that every day in your life, every mistake you have made, every red you have
Mm,
made, every friendship, every person, everything has brought you where you are. And if you where you are is good,
yeah.
then you learn from your experiences and you're
Yeah.
growing. That's all. Life is a lesson.
It is. And what's the best advice you've been given or your favorite quote to live by?
Oh, okay. I've been given so many good pieces of advice.
Yeah.
Um,
And you've shared so many
I'm
today.
gonna cherry pick a few. One is what is now. It's so simple, but the amazing things lie in simple thoughts. What is now is not forever, and that was given to me by a friend during a very troubled period of my life when I was very sad. I was going through a lot, and she sat with me and she said, what you're going now is a phase, and someday it's going to be over. And much like every good is going to be over someday, everybody's going to be over someday too. And all this emotional distress you are feeling is amplified by the fact that your mind is projecting into the future forever.
Yeah.
It's not going to be
Yeah.
forever, it's going to end someday. And this helped me tremendously. And the second piece of advice that's all around confidence is actually a verse from the Bible. It was back on that day when when I didn't want to give the lecture that I said yes to. And I went to my uncle, who was the president of the association. I was crying, please spare me of my own decision. Please tell them that something happened and I cannot do that. And he said, sit down like this, sit down. Who gave you the right to dim your light? In the Bible, there's a verse that says, do not put your light under the table. You don't have the right. The voice inside you that said yes was the voice that is going to grow you, the voice that is dreaming things about you. You don't get to shut up that voice. You get to bring it out and do it. I still have goosebumps every time I think of that. Every time I try to play small, I hear his voice in my ears. He's a very wise man. He has taught me so many things.
Yeah.
Like next to my mom and my dad, he's a primary figure in my life. And this one really stood out because I was really ready to, go back to playing small.
Yeah.
And then the third one would be my mom, my dad, and faith. They have this unwavering faith in
Yeah.
God and in everything that is, protective, and that everything is for our own good. And so every time, and they have passed it on to me. So every time I go through a rough time, I just sit down and say, A, the friend, she's a psychiatrist, it's not forever. And B,
Mm,
whatever you're going through right now is for your own good.
yeah.
Nothing happens if it's not for your own good. So yeah,
Yeah.
those are the three pieces of advice that play like daily in my life. They play
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. No, that's very powerful. I think everyone can take something from that. So, do you have a favorite book or podcast in terms of, personal development, building confidence?
Mm, there are so many.
Yeah. One you've read recently
So
then,
I
or
think let me change the question to the last book I read that
yeah,
shook
yeah,
me up.
yeah.
So it's
Great.
called Personality Isn't Permanent,
Oh, I have.
and it broke down so many myths, and it has a lot to do with confidence. This is why I bring it in the conversation here, because
Mhm.
many of the things that deprive us of our confidence come from the ideas that we have in our heads of who we are. So maybe 10 years ago, you took a questionnaire that told you you are an introvert and you're not that good at, talking with other people, and then you took it inside you, and every time you're in situations where you need to be more extroverted, you're like, I'm not good at this, and that deprives you
Yeah.
of your confidence. So that book argues, and that is true, that if you take the same personality questionnaire today, you probably are
Yeah.
a different person, or you're going to have different results. But that is something we never do. We sit back to what happened and was 10 years ago. So in this book, you have also a roadmap of how to change yourself to your future self by design, because life's going to change you anyway. He's like, let's see how you do this by design. It's by Benjamin H. Hardy, and he is a psychologist with a doctorate degree. So, I mean, this is really hard science. And I really love this book. I highly recommend it. It's all about changing yourself. And I think confidence comes from not just repeating the same steps, but just repeating the same steps in the right way
Yes. Yeah.
and having good results.
Yeah. Definitely.
Podcasts, I have so many. And the thing is that confidence is not only, I mean, confidence in me as a business owner. I listen to business podcasts. Confidence
Yeah.
in me as as a person. I listen to.
Yeah.
I mean, this is one you may like. It's called. I just found about it recently, so I will give him a shout out here.
Yeah.
It's Brad
Awesome.
Walsh, and it's empowerography. So he's a man, and he's bringing women in the spotlight, women that empower
Mhm.
other women and their
Yeah.
stories. So that is an interesting, and I really like his podcast. I binge heard it, and I highly recommend it, because these are the stories. I like the stories of people that are everyday people, because you can see the
Mhm.
superstars, but the
Yeah.
superstars are not, you and I. So
Yeah.
all these, I mean, your thing, all of you people that bring into the light the stories of
Mhm.
everyday men and women,
Yeah.
this gives me such hope, because not everything needs to be a rags to riches story to resonate and to give hope to people and to show
True.
you that you can, keep grinding and keep going on down your road.
Yeah.
So yeah,
No, that's brilliant. I love that. You're so
because I
right.
can think of so many that are, everybody knows of.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's bring some more
Real.
voices to
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
Oh, and
And do you?
off the gram podcast also, off the gram
Okay.
podcast. It's really, really, it's not just confidence, it's life. Really
Cool.
enjoyed that one too.
Awesome. And do you have any sort of favorite people you like to follow online that, brighten up your newsfeed?
Ooh, I'm gonna tell you the deep dark secret. I am not very much online, and this I am online for my business,
Yeah.
but I believe that real life is lived on site.
Yeah.
So I do. So I from time to time, when I
Mhm.
need some boost, I may look into people. There's Megan B. Murphy, that she has written this book, Your Fully Charged Life. So I met her
Mhm.
in person, and I was like, she really is that. She's like, if Asterix had fallen in the magic potions, she fell in
Mhm.
the lightning bolt, because she's like full of energy. Seriously though, and she's going through any hardship in her life with this positive mindset. And there are times when she's so true on social media. She's gonna show what's going on. So I will go into her feed and find something that cheers me up every day, that brings me up a smile. I think this is more of what I'm looking for right now, rather than think that I will go to Brad's empowerography page with podcast, and I'm gonna tap in. I found
Yeah.
out Gertrude through you, and
Yeah.
when I have time, I will go back and hear something. But this is not gonna happen like daily. This is gonna happen from
Yeah.
time to time, and I can
Yeah.
tell you that usually I do that on YouTube, rather than on social media, because on social media you also have this part where you are full of best of the people. You go back, interact with them. Some of them are your customers, some of them are your friends. It's skewed. when I need
Yeah.
to build myself up, I love going on YouTube and just,
Mhm.
sometimes I search it by title, and I go into
Yeah.
TEDx, and I may look into specific TEDx talks to
Yeah.
find something that speaks to me. I have found so much of that.
Yeah. 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 YouTube's a great rabbit hole for finding great stuff.
But
And you get,
you know what? I mean, I didn't know Gertrude's mom had this story where she had so many children and so few survived. It's like it's
mm,
heartbreaking, right? But
yeah.
however, she has risen through that. This
Mm,
whole thing of simple people and their stories and how they push through, they're not
yeah.
superstars. Not everybody knows their name, but they're amazing, and they're changing their communities. And this is what all that matters. And if each and every one of us changes our little community around us,
Yeah.
this world is going to be a better place.
Yes. It's such a beautiful way of putting it. Now, where can people find you or connect with you if they want to see more of
So
you?
they can find us on Instagram. I can tell you, I mean, that's social media. Facebook, I have a Facebook page, but I have not been able to keep it up as I should. So if they go on Facebook at Next Door Goddess, they will find usually some things that are cross post from Instagram. So our main channel is Instagram at Next Door Goddess with the underscore. Very important to put the underscore because it's another account. That's a little bit shady. That's not
Yeah.
us.
Oh, yeah.
And then our designs are on our website at www.nextorgoddess.com.
Awesome. Cool. Do you have any final words you want to share before we go? Anything, that you feel you need to share that you haven't yet?
I think to everybody out there who is listening and looking into inspiration, I think we find inspiration in other people, but there is a huge part of our inspiration that can come from us. So every time you're in front of something that brings you fear, that you are uncertain, go back to a time in your life when you were in such a position and you took the step and it was fearful and there were the obstacles and some things were messy, but in the end you went up on the other side and you made it.
Yes.
So tap into that, because our past and our victorious past, that's how I like to think about it,
Mm.
can give us little bits of inspiration for our victorious future. When I visit my past, I don't like to visit, my failures. I only do that to find the lessons in them. I mean, okay, I failed
Yeah.
there. What was the lesson I took, and how do I go forward? But I don't
Mm.
stay there for so long, as I used to do in the past. And that is one major thing that I've changed about myself. And I think that
Yeah.
only if you change that and you snap yourself out of the failure phase into the lesson and grow phase, I think it's going to do a lot for you. And you're going to find that inspiration you're looking for inside your own self.
Mhm. Brilliant. Oh, this has been such an amazing chat, and I've just been hanging on to every word. I could listen to you all day, and I'm sure everyone watching is probably feeling the same. So thank you so much for sharing.
Thank
It
you
was
so
such a
much for
great
having me. It was such an honor. I can't wait to connect to you more on LinkedIn,
Yes.
that we
Yeah.
both, use in the same way. But yeah, we're getting better, right? We're getting there. We're getting
Well,
there.
yeah. I have to connect with you on Instagram as well too, because I'm on Instagram more. And thank you to everyone morning watching live or on the replay, and we'll see you all next time on the next episode of the Confidence Connection Show. So thanks everyone, and see you next time.
Thank you so much. Bye.